My dynasty's blood has proven resilient. My lineage has proven wise, strong, and powerful. So is it any wonder that I would see my sons and their sons after them rule every significant domain in Christendom? I think not. No, there is no question that the future of the known world is a Cerneu dynasty that dwarfs even that of the great Carlings of Francia. Hello and welcome, connoisseurs of Crusader Kings 3, friends of the channel and newcomers alike. We are here once again with King Ecgfort of Cornwall. I think this or the next episode will probably be the last. This was always intended to be an intermediary series, and bringing it to an end, I think, is pretty much decided. We have a few more things we want to do. We want to try to find a way to make this work. If we can. It's not necessary to do it, but if we can, we will develop capital, because it costs us almost no stress now, because we're whole of body. And we want to stay around long enough to see her on her throne, and see her have some proper children, maybe. I have been thinking about coming down here and intervening in Spain, but they seem to be pretty stable at this point, and I don't want to interfere with that. We might have claims. Well, we have no natural claims here. I thought we might. It was a possibility, but it looks like the answer to that is no, so we don't want to chase anything down there. Frisia is not really in our sights. Lotharingia, we're hoping to get through a union. I suppose Germany, Denmark might be a target. Really, if we wanted to create an empire, we would need to go back to war with West Francia, and I don't think that our lovely Ecgfort cares about that much at all. I mean, Rhys, his son, might, but I don't think he does. If we could get this in 2 generations, though, that would be very good for us. In order to do that, we've got to think of a way, and I want to do a southern Old Cornwall tour. Once this ticks through, we will get 5. I forgot that this gives you 5, so that will actually put us to the point where if we can get that all-important grand wedding done, if we can pick up glory, the first glory, we will make it. It is possible, but to do that, we need to quickly make a couple hundred points. Yeah, just over 300 points, and that means a tour. So we're going to do a tour. I might run the tour on 4. So grand tour. We're going to plan a grand tour. It's going to be a majesty tour, of course. I mean, because majesty tours give us lots and lots of renown. We could do a taxation tour, but I don't think we need the money more than we need the renown, so we're going to do a... We're here. And the purpose of this tour is going to be to go and visit the French vassals, the Breton vassals, and the few Occitan vassals we have down here. These might actually be French people. You know, I'm not sure. We're going to do all of these are going to be cultural, because we want to raise our culture points with this group of people so that we can get more cultural acceptance towards them. In the theoretical distant future, we might make a new version of the Lioness culture that includes some bits of French culture in it as well. We could always use the old simple rename as ourself trick by changing the name of our culture and then changing it back when we diverge, which is something that you can do if you're willing to put that little effort in. So we got this cultural advancement. I think all of this is good. We're not looking for money. We are definitely looking for prestige. Let's see. We want extravagant luxuries. No, I think we're going to stay on regular. We're going to have a regular entourage size 2. Our purpose is not going to be justice. It's going to actually be altruism. And the whole of the region is actually rather safe. We're going to bring a hill guy, a mountaineer, and then we're going to bring a cultural ambassador. This seems good. We're at 000. I don't think we're going to we could. Maybe we do customize. There could be something worth grabbing. We've just visited all of this area of Europe already, so I don't think we're going to find... Nah, it's not worth customizing. I suppose we could come home through here. You know, maybe even we come home through Scotland, like that. Just on the way home, just to pick up those two. And this is going to be our tour, our Grand Majesty tour for altruism. Our purpose is to both forward cultural acceptance between the French, the Bretons, and the Lioness. We also have Dutch up here. Keep forgetting that these guys are Dutch. These are French territories with Dutch. Some of them are Dutch. We're French territories, though, as a rule. I think that's interesting. Starting to spread the Lioness culture into here. So let's go. Let's get this done. A grand tour, a majestic start. The time has come to depart for my grand tour of old Cornwall. My court is packed, ready to go, and raring. Our first stop will be my friend Duke Resmen's castle in Venice. I look forward to visiting him and seeing my realm one holding at a time. Yes, we have basically convinced the old king of Brittany that he is better off as a duke in a strong kingdom than he is as a king weak on his own. Learn language success. Let's do this one. I think we're gonna get it, and if we do, that's good. It'll also give us some cultural acceptance with her. Let's do that. Good. We have impressed her with our knowledge. Did that budget? we just gotta keep checking this over and over again. We gotta go age. We want to go. Where is it? Our grandson, who is the heir. Her. Still 69. That's fine. Fine. We won't actually be able to pull the trigger on the wedding until after we're done the tour, which is a thing. But why is he not here? He's not even at war. Where did he go? He was there like a minute ago. He just literally refused to let us in. I feel like we imprison him for that. Just as a lesson. And then we immediately ransom him back to himself so he understands that that's BS. Like, literally, that's BS. And then we put him right back into his job? Because that's BS, dude? Is that 2 in a row who've refused me? This insult will not be, forgotten. Okay. In prison. I hope you enjoy the short time in prison. This was not intended to be a tour for money, but it looks like that's the way we're going. With me, guards. So, an unfortunate village. We trot upon the outskirts of a little crossed hamlet. A fearful commoner approaches, his eyes in wide relief. Thank goodness, you must help us, good lord. My party and I exchange dubious glances. Bandit deserters have been preying on our village for days. They have taken almost everything. Guards with me. Yes, we will. We'll do this. There's only a small chance that somebody gets wounded. Interesting. I don't know why you're refusing, but if everybody who refuses gets to spend time in prison and to fill the coffers to pay for this damn tour. Thank goodness somebody didn't refuse. Let's get started. If they refuse me, then they can pay for the tour by visiting my prison briefly. It's just how it goes. The music in the main stage is promptly followed by the dances. The beauty of their movements makes them look like part of the stage. They throw their hands into the air and it feels like watching trees grow new branches. A gasp comes from the audience when one of the dancers starts climbing the wooden wall of the stage. And now I shall take revenge from... the performer falls to the ground. And the silence of the crowd lets everyone hear a clear crack. Bring a physician... yeah, we're gonna do this. We can easily pay for that with the gold of the people who refused to help us. She can choose. Local peasants have set up stalls with vegetables and occasionally, rarely, lamb. As I continue my walk, accompanied by a decent amount of courtiers, I see a familiar face among them, her eyes locked into mine. My lord, she finally approaches me with a hand gesture. My guards let her continue. You helped me in my time of need. when I got injured during the performance. It is my turn to repay you with what I have. I know of Duke Lumbert's secret. Do I think I need this leverage on him? No, I don't. I don't need that leverage on him. I cannot believe my eyes. Manfreda starts gesturing towards Duke Lumbert, what is considered highly offensive in French culture. Hold on, it's just a misunderstanding? I think we're gonna do that, probably. I could berate him, but I don't want to berate him if I can avoid it. So we're gonna, it's just a misunderstanding. It's just a misunderstanding. You convinced the Duke? Good. Ditwin invites me to join a cultural parade. He assures me that Duke Lutbert watched over the preparations to give me the best parade the county of Anjou could offer. He speaks of a couple local displays, some kind of handicrafts. It's nothing I've never seen before. I'm quite disappointed, to be honest. You'd be inspired by the cultural parade. This gives us some cultural acceptance we were looking for. We lose some stress. I could learn a thing or two from Duke Lutbert. Yes, we'll do that. Off in a remote corner of the festival, I find an elaborately decorated tent. The materials and patterns. Ah, yes. It is. It is omen time. Do we become superstitious? I don't want to be superstitious for 15 years. I don't want to be superstitious for 15 years. I do want the cultural acceptance, but I don't need the stress down, and I don't want to be superstitious for 15 years, so that's not a thing. It's time for tribute. He has given me the tribute that I deserve. I've gained renown. We gained everything we expected to. That's good. We're not getting as much renown as I'd hoped, though, because we are, of course, being rejected at too many locations. Good on you, bud. Thank you, my nephew. Maybe we should try to befriend my nephew because he did such a good job of showing up. Oh, we already tried once. Let's start. Let's start. Okay, the streets hang with tapestries, the smell of freshly cooked pork, the way Rouen shines during this time of year. A bonfire has been lit at the center of the town to celebrate the victory of the brightest of stars, ascending into heaven above, amid the reveling and drinking Amid the reveling and drinking of spiced wines, one of the locals starts a song that all join into. Summer has arrived, loudly sing pigeon. The seed is growing, the meadow is blooming, sing seagull. Such a lovely celebration. This makes it more majestic, gives us popular opinion. This makes it more majestic, gives us stress gain down. We don't need that. So we're going to do this. My liege, I'm honored to have you here. Please accept this gift as a commemoration of this cultural festival, something that will remind us of this day for years to come. An exquisite gift. What does he give me? Lioness of Regalia? Do I have Regalia? I actually don't. That is an exquisite gift. Yes, or I could give him our combat and weapons, but I think that's more likely to be used by us in the future. And he's more likely to make use of an inventory artifact. I will give him the Cerneu Annals. Cerneu. I don't know why I started pronouncing it wrong again. Cerneu Annals. So far, so good. As I promenade around the festival, I notice a hooded figure selling flasks whose liquid cannot be told. Come, buy my medicines, my lord. They work miracles and balance the humors of even the weakest man. I look at the flasks. As I look at the flask, I observe that one of them shines vermilion, as if it was made of the finest cinnabar. The other is bright green, as if someone had soaked copper plates in fresh wine. Like the red flask, the green medicine looks healthiest. Will not risk my health in this. I am going to take the green, because I like green. You gained Miraculous Tonic. Revelry, joy! As I enter Rowen's main square, I see a group of figures dressed as priests, singing and dancing in its center. A half-bishop, half-jester man presiding over the crowd. Duke Othelsiege makes an appearance, clapping his hands in joy. Now listen, friends, as Gorton is now our Bishop of Fools, and his will is law, and his voice is the voice of the Lord. What kind of sinful joy can we expect from him? I sure can't wait to find out. Everybody gains Feast of Fools. We lose 1 stress because we're diligent. We spend some stuff. A lot of people like us better. I sure can't wait to find out. I got plenty of piety. I got piety to spare. Make everybody more happy with us is just a good thing. Straight out. Good deal. All the time, every day. Even with all the effort that has clearly been put into the festival, I can still notice some abandoned houses and poor materials in Rouen. When I approach the main square, I see that Duke Siege has been surrounded by a group of kids, eagerly asking about our entourage. They immediately hide the moment they see me. I've brought this from the capital, for anyone who cares to see. I say as I show Siege the hide of the great roe of Cerneu I brought with me. Magnificent, he says, and the kids come back to see it. Shoplifter's pelt, right? We put someone's cat's pelt on our wall because that was just the thing we did. So they can keep it. They can keep it. It's cool. You can have it. It's fine. It is time for tribute. He has refused. Now, because he let me in and refused after, we will. But they're conspiring to foil my scheme. They are all conspiring together to foil my scheme. It would be so this is the Wishing Well, the Marvelous Spring. Wishing Well gives us stress loss. We should all drink together. Drank from the fountain. Popular opinion. We'll do popular opinion. And we shall move on. We are not going to hold it against him because he at least opened the doors to us. If you don't open the doors, you go to prison. If you open the doors, you're probably going to get pardoned. Several peasants gather around me asking for stories of my life. I think back on what I could tell them, and two stories jump to mind. One, when I became friends with Princess Budoc of Wales, is a lovely memory. On the other hand, when I pressed my claim in the Duchy of Anjou, held by King Jocelyn, it was an awesome tale, likely to inspire Loreley and Ferverdyn. So the war story gives us some stress. This story gives us prestige and makes them inspired by tales. I think we're going to tell the first story, the story of friendship. That's who we see ourselves as more, I think. Let's start. All right. A group of locals has taken to the stage in what seems to be the longest, blandest sermon I've ever heard. I try to keep my eyes open, but soon enough, piles of hay at the corner of the street look a bit too comfortable and too tempting. I must stay awake. I must stay awake. Come on. The wooden stage stands proudly in the middle of the square. Festive wreaths hang from it. I would like to announce that the play in honor of the most distinguished guest, King Eckforth, is about to begin. Please delight. The story goes on and on, talking about the streets of Launceston and my deeds. Nothing of interest is noted. Well, I guess it could be worse. I can't tell you what I really think of this. Gains neutral play. I'm not giving her a hug. Well, it could be worse. That's the truth. Education at an end. My friend Prince Pierre of West Francia has now come of age. We got him actually a pretty bad education, to be honest. I'm not sure. Oh, it's for the usual reason. He's not getting to take advantage of everything because he has to stay at home, right? Until we meet again. Insightful thinker. Well, okay. Could be worse. But not by a lot. We got what we wanted out of it, though, which is a close relationship with him. Okay, one of our knights has died. And he was also our marshal. Looking at my powerful vassals, I've got nobody who needs to be managed. And so I'm going to just put an acclaimed knight in here. I don't know, it's archery grounds or it's royal reserves. Royal reserves helps us with hunts, development growth, popular opinion, and taxes. I like the idea of making these royal forests. The thing is, this is where our archers are all stationed, though, and, like, all of our archers are stationed here. It's not all the holdings in the duchy, which means it's not actually that good. And they're already really strong archers here, right? Like, we already have multiple archer buildings. I think we're going to go with the Royal Reserves. The only problem I have with this is that the development here is so high that this doesn't really help that much. I wish this affected all of the duchy. This does, but this doesn't. If this affected the whole duchy, then this would be great, because we got lots of good places to hunt near here, but just not here. Let's do it anyway. I like the idea of it. It makes sense. This is where we've traditionally done most of our hunts. We oftentimes hunt in, like, the forests around here, even though they're not as good as they once were. So let's build that because it makes a lot of sense just based on our historical use of that area. Our friend has died. Acrobats jump in colorful attire as one of them opens his mouth to catch a ball that another one throws, and the public erupts into cheers. The music soon follows. I've heard this song before, perhaps. Most of them sound too familiar. Even from the dais, I can hear the peasants singing loudly, and dance in the fields of woof, woof, woof. A figure decides to join in, stealing the juggling balls. Get that dog. I can take him back with me? I must remain in place. No. I want the dog. An opportunity to get a dog is always a good thing. I'm gonna call him Shadow, because that name is cool. It's time for tribute. She has given us the tribute. Look at that! I hear as I walk down the street of Berg. My friend Gutien is... Guriton. My friend Guriton is pointing at what seems to be known as St. Matthew's Fishmongers Guild. A smile quickly appears on his face, blissful. A group of apprentices are kneeled down in front of a workbench. The master supervises the craft from the lintel of the door, arms crossed, chin up. You'll need a bit more strength for that, son. Gortan takes a step in their direction, completely mesmerized. These people are worth helping. That's a lot of development growth. We should invest in the merchants back home. We get city building. I think we're going to invest in the merchants back home. And we've done it, so let's just clear this. We have the ability to do a desirable match. Good. Is she still unmarried? She's still not found a person. So once we get home, we should be able to do this. That is going to be a big boon. Lotharingia has been an ally and a strong supporter for a very long time. This is our grandson, the literal one that we're trying to marry to someone else. We're absolutely not doing that, but I understand why you think it's a good idea, but if I didn't have a bigger plan, I probably would do it. Scots, 1%. Traveling friendly locals. This is xenophilic. I do think that would be a good choice for us, but I'm pretty sure we're taking the city one. Gifts from villagers. I will take this, because if we were to get to 1050, which is pretty unlikely, we would probably establish... what is the one we have? We already have city keepers, so we'd probably do fortifications, I think. Travel. The Metal Man. Consider the armor gone for a price. Help offer him loyal squires for his fealty. He's an Okrate K commander. He's a passable warrior. Leave him to his fate. I don't think we want him, so we'll let him go. Get that armor off him. Help him out. But not invite him to the group. A Knight Errant. Oh, this guy is passably better than the last guy in every category. I'm gonna recruit him simply because I think I'm too old to go on the adventure. Fascination discovered, so we now have chronicle writing. That's good. Let's look in here. Where do we want to stick our next thing? Coinage, I guess. Okay, we'll do coinage. We will support the local hero. And we are almost home. And we are home after everything. The tour turned out okay. Let's go to Lotharingia. We want to arrange a marriage between our grandson, our son, our heir's heir, and her grand wedding. 0% acceptance, so she will accept it. We need to make sure we keep that money on hand for that wedding. All right. Things are starting to look forward for the Cerneu dynasty. We're getting a little bit spread around. If this works out, Lotharingia will be ours in not too much time. We get to hold a nice wedding, which is going to be really cool. So we have a problem here, and that problem is this kid. So we will put all that effort into making our friend and getting him on our team. He's married this old woman, and there's little that can be done about it by us. We could try to murder her, but that's not really who we are. We could try to abduct her. But the only thing that would come out of adopting her would be putting her in our prison, where we'd have to just basically let her die in our prison. I don't know if we'd be willing to do that. But we're also not willing to lose this territory. Honestly, I think we're going to just have to do this the other way, which means we need to get royal prerogative, which means we need to make a different priority here. I think that's the level. We need to switch over to royal prerogative. Hopefully we can get that in 6 years. I think at level 3, vassals cannot wage war. Vassal titles cannot be inherited by characters outside of the realm. Yeah. We're going to have to move it up, which sucks because it's going to make people upset with us. But, it's going to have to be how it is, right? Like, his heir is not going to be able to strip this out of here. He needs to have a proper heir. Hopefully, eventually, she dies and that gets replaced. I really hope that's what happens. Our horse is sick, so we will pay to continue their life. And then we come down here. We want to make this... Well, we'll focus... Looking at this place... Do we want more archers? Is that what this is supposed to be saying? That we're getting more archers? Because this place is pretty archer strong with no archers to put in it. Strictly speaking, it's not terrible. If we look here, we can continue to build this up, right? If we build the forest forts or the towers. I think the towers is cheaper, more efficient to build first. You're already building the royal reserves. Up here, we're already building the new mine. In Kent, we will build this because it is literally the only thing we can afford, and that should be good. We are making tons and tons of money. Also a good thing. Things are going really well, except for this little hitch down here. We have spent all of our money. It is our last chance. I never intended to do this for you. I brought you here just to create less trouble. I never intended to do that for you. Challenge for artifact? What? Always. You're always challenging me for artifacts, dude. Just get over it. They're mine. We have our regalia now, which we got from our French tour. It is not great, but it is not terrible. At least we have something to hold in our hand now. Be nice to get some armor as well. You know? Diplomacy perk, sound foundations, a whole bunch of more random stats for all of our kids, and then we're going to end up in Patriarch. So good. Stress loss. Fertility we don't need, but family opinion and house opinion is pretty cool. We've just become very good. We are a very skilled man. Very skilled. When will you be turning... You got 2 years. We got 2 whole years. Well, that's a long time. That's fine. There's no way. We probably get more money from the Pope in 2 years, to be fair. This is our friend. He doesn't want an alliance. We could use our friendship hook to add him to the pile of alliances, which I would like to do. Knight qualities. Another alliance added. Our grandson here needs a diplomatic guardian. That can be me. Nothing preventing him from coming over and joining us, so he can come over and join us. Commander significantly improved. Oh, things are going so well for us. We haven't looked up here in a while, so it makes me scared. She's 11 now. That's good. 5 more years. Oops, let's back down to 3. Of our big projects, this is our last big project. She is now 11, about to turn 12, yes. She's now 12, so it's 4 more years before she comes of age. What is this? An event? Overwrought overindulgence. My king, your courtier Sten, he just won't stop eating roasted almonds. My knight Lewis stammers. Right at this moment, I spot Sten exiting the pantry, carrying a pile of roasted almonds in both arms. Is it something the matter, my liege? My god, man, pull yourself together. Please. There's so many almonds, okay? We have a strangely large number of monks dressed as bishops hanging out in our territory all the time. It's just a thing, I guess. It must be because of this. It's obviously because of this. Because we have the famous holy site. There's just monks who have to live here. There's also usually monks in a university as well. So that's a thing. You can ask your head of faith for claims. Nope, nope. But we're gonna get enough money for this in time for sure. Still 2 years away. Oh, what is next? I guess we should befriend. Let's befriend our new knight here. Befriend him. Let's get him a wife too. Charmed vassal. She is a good girl. She's a great girl. Let me see. We don't want him to marry a mare because then he'll leave. All right. We'll marry him to her. That seems great. Oh, we finished our mine finally. I don't need to make her better. I just need to keep her around. Excellent. Let's look at this. We now have a level 2 mine here. So this means that we now have unbelievably strong siege weapons. Let's see how strong our siege weapons are. Siege weapons here, 4. So they're basically the strength of the next era's siege weapons at this point. Do we have any unupgraded forts? Is another good thing to check for our money. I don't think we do, but we might, so we should check. Who is this? Ooh, my friend Sunmonic is dead. That's not great. He was my steward. Our cousin, who will be a great steward, vassal and knight, put him in. We'll have to re-befriend him when we have a chance. So this is a marriage between our daughter, no, the daughter of the king, and our son. The strong connection between us and the north, which is good. We're making great money now, which I'm happy about. We were looking at this for a reason. What were we looking at this for? Carnal comforts? No, pull yourself together. I'm not sleeping with my dead friend's wife just because she'll get mad if I don't. That's silly. I have a wife who I've been extremely loyal to all these years, alright? That's just true, and that is just staying. They want to promote a commander. Your marshal. My Marshal Guth is very hesitantly brings my guest, Gorothelm, to me. Reeve Osric has asked me to promote Baron Helm to the honor of commandership, but I believe that you might wish to have a say in the matter beforehand. My armory is not a nursery. My army is not a nursery, sir. Dark Cave. So my grandson and ward is brave, just like me. Gotta love it. I'm not brave. I mean, I think of myself as brave, but I don't have the trait. So he is brave. Our grandson is brave, not like us, but still brave. That's just gonna fall off. I don't think there's anything we can get from this guy. That hook. We've improved a commander. Things are still going really well. What's this? We could found a holy order. Don't really want to. We could hold court. But is this a artisan? He wants to make a box. Do I have any slots still available? Is one of the things I'd like to find out. Is there anything not filled up? No, I don't think there is anymore. Our court is totally full. We don't need inspirations. But let's hold court. Sitting on my throne, I gesture for my guards to open the doors of the hall. A stream of people file in, some lining up in front of my throne, while others move out of the way so they can simply observe the proceedings. Gesture for the first in line to approach. The next petitioner is evidently somewhat a stranger in this court. As I do not recognize her, the eyes of Marshal Gother have been on them since they first entered. My lord, I have come to declare that the people of Bologna are refusing to pay the taxes that you have levied upon us. In past times, our land and people were granted rights and privileges which your recent extractions ignore. We request that you address our concerns fairly, or else. Character will gain a plus 20 acceptance bonus the next time they request another character become their vassal. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's cute. Trick the ringleaders into an ambush. I think we're going to be willing to hear them out. I don't know if we're going to use Masterful Negotiator, but we definitely interesting to me. Let's do this. We've pacified the tax revolt. A new arrival to my court today is one Constance, an envoy from my acquaintance King Thomas of Aquitaine. King Eckforth, it has come to the attention of my liege that you are harboring an individual of particular interest. Mafalda has legitimate claim to the Duchy of Toulouse. King Thomas requests and demands the return of the errant subject at once. Archbishop Gortan steps forward solemnly. My lord, Catholic pilgrims flock to Kent's Grand Cathedral to be closer to the Lord. Do the scriptures require this? Every time you ask for this, my sir, you ask for this like every couple of years, and I have to use the same arguments? You're gonna just eventually have to accept that I'm smarter than both of you? Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. They're gonna eventually have to accept that I'm smarter than both of them. Okay, being most grateful to you, King Eckforth, in the return of Mafalda. To a proper place in my realm, you have proven yourself a most honorable and true friend to the kingdom of Aquitaine. Closer to growing a friendship and some more opinion. I'm glad we sent her back because I don't want to cause trouble with Aquitaine at this time. We do not have an alliance with him because we went to all the trouble to get an alliance with his dad and then his dad died. Truth is, if I was to attack Aquitaine, it would be for, like, Gascon and, I mean, the Heartland. Just to control more of the coast. But I'm not sure that we're interested in that. I mean, we might be. We might be interested in it. If not now, in the near future, we might be. Ask our head of faith for gold. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's nice that after I just corrected you about the proper possession of Kent, that you're still willing to donate to the kingdom's coffers. Very magnanimous. Very magnanimous. And then we're going to keep our money for the wedding. Very soon. Verdict from heaven. A miracle. It's a miracle. Gortan has had a vision from God. He ensures me that Gothair and I are divinely ordained to be friends. I shall tell him of this vision. 15. So they are going to be able to be married in a very small number of months. So that wedding is going to be planned very soon. Let's just hit the wedding, and then that's going to be the end of this episode, I think. There we go. So it is time to plan a grand wedding. Grand wedding. Confirm. Do I have any... well... Launceston is the default, but we could also have it in Canterbury. The holy site of your faith. We could have it in Kent or Canterbury. We could also have it here. It's your capital. I were to do it in Canterbury because I think that makes the most sense just on a logical level. Like, that's where we would do it. I am going to blow out this wedding. I can't quite afford it. I can't quite afford it. Dang it. Let's pause. Get out of here. The Breton throne. Yeah, that's better. So that's a better throne. Breton court politics. We like to keep these books around in case we want to learn anything from them. We got this prize brooch, but that's actually up. Effigy of a saint. We have this Purdain goblet. That might be a perfect thing for us to sell to make the wedding costs. Yes. Yes, okay, I feel good about that. So now we can spend every cent we have on a perfect wedding. So let's do this. Plan a grand wedding. Confirm a grand wedding. Obviously hold it in Canterbury. Pop all these to their maximum values. We are going to go for... You know, just... maybe for diplomacy. We could try to get the alliance back with the king of... I don't think that's right. Are there any of these people we'd like to actually gain any... Maybe the King of Ireland, if he comes. Maybe the King of Ireland, if he comes. Now, if we're going to tolerate the existence of the Irish, I think we should maybe try to do so on a maximized level. All right, so we are paying 853 gold for this absolutely maxed out wedding between our grandson, future heir to the throne, and the Queen of Lotharingia. We're going to start this, but we're going to call the episode to an end before we do it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time with King Ecgfrith of Old Cornwall, the Beautiful. Next episode is probably going to be the last episode. I don't think, just like I did with the previous character, Ricat, I think we're going to end before he dies, unless he just happens to die as we go. Just because I'd like to leave him and think about him sitting on his throne. She is 4 years away from coming of age, so this will happen. And when this happens, all of our great plans will take place. I will need to disinherit the poor kid after he takes over, though, there, because I can't have him tear things out of the kingdom. And I don't think we're going to get to the point where we're... Well, I mean, we're not going to play, definitely, to the point where we're 19 years from now. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.